Welcome to LeadsCon Live, a place where you'll hear great conversations with movers and shakers about the latest trends in the lead generation industry. Now, your host, Michael Faree.
Welcome back to LeadsCon 2018. I'm here with Jason Neubauer, who spoke earlier today at a session. I'm going to learn a little bit about what you talked about in the session, but before we do that, tell us a little bit about yourself, the company you work for, and all that good stuff.
My name is Jason Neubauer. I'm the founder and CEO of the Santa Claus Effect. It's actually a TV show that's coming out in fall. It'll be on Amazon in the United States and Channel 4 in the UK and syndicated across like 80% of the world that we're working on right now. It's all about, think like Undercover Boss meets Secret Millionaire with social media influencers. It's all about like giving and paying it forward. It's kind of the whole mission that like you can teach everybody how to fish. It's a whole mentality that we can all win together, but that really layers into like the whole effect change movement. So there's a book, there's a platform, it's everything tied together. You know, basically it's like making the world a better place and that we can all win together. The way the world should be, you know?
And when did you say that's coming out?
In fall. You can actually watch the first episode on Amazon right now on the sneak peek.
Okay. So tell us about you. You spoke today. Tell us about what you spoke about and all that jazz.
Yeah, so my background came into influencer marketing, which I've been there actually since day one, and an industry veteran, which is crazy. Like that's only 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was
dog years.
Yeah, I mean, it was a term that nobody said before, but really is like the future of marketing, right? And it seems to change like every single day. So now it's really figure out how are you integrating influencers into your brand and building it, and how does that correlate to sales, vice versa? And then there's so many different ways to do it. There's no turnkey solution. You know, it's really what does that brand need? How does it do it? Who are the right people tied to it? Who are your brand ambassadors? Like, what is the story you're trying to tell? You know, I mean, the founder and the mission is equally as important as the brand, right? Like, why did that person build that thing? You know, and why should someone want to buy that or root for that person? And then trying to figure out how do you keep that authenticity all the way across the board, rather than going away from that traditional like spray and pray model. You know, like the Gen Zs and all these things, they can call BS on anything that's out there, right? So you can't lie to consumers anymore. So it's really kind of disrupted the whole content game, marketing. It's just it's a totally different game out there, and it's really fun.
So how do big brands, keep it real? It's kind of, with their communication strategy and all that sort of stuff when things can a lot of times become robotic, and how do they keep it natural with the communication streams?
I mean, I think it's being honest, right? I mean, you look at like the cell phone wars, right? You go there to like everything's within this like 1%, right? Yeah. But like in specific regions that carrier in particularly isn't that good, right? So why would you not just run a hyper-targeted campaign at them, be honest with them about, hey, we're getting better here, and then incentivize them to stay, rather than putting out a traditional commercial where the consumers feel like they're lied to, right? Just be honest with them and tell them where you're getting better, and you'll have a long-term better strategy, you know?
So a lot of these companies here are out here, they're doing a lot of lead generation, inquiry generation. How do they implement, are there tips, are there key points that you sort of shared in your speech or your presentation that they are key takeaways that they should be considering?
I mean, it's just entertain, right? Like even some of the Super Bowl commercials, right? Like you kind of start to see this shift in positivity. I'd even like not even put the branding, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it has to be as subtle, like people know you're that company, right? Like leave them more, like you entertain them, incentivize them, and then sell. Don't even sell, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will find your product, right? Like, Chris Stoikos is the founder of Dollar Beard Club, and he's really well known for, how to make the viral and creative videos. And like, I learned that from him. He's the guy who I went on Shark Tank with and created the Cool Box. So every type of video that we make is we entertain, we give that value prop. You don't have to shove it in the consumer's face. Like, they'll find it. Because it's like, you'll naturally like, oh, did you see that funny video on YouTube? Oh, that's Dollar Beard Club. What do they do, right? Like, it'll naturally lead into the sale.
So you're doing more TV producing now, right? Is that correct? Are you doing anything from a consultative point of view for communication strategies like this? Or
yeah, I mean, where it's all going though is, it's more than TV. It's like to engage that whole generation. Like you have to have a full 360. So how does our traditional television layer into our digital content, and then how does that layer into our own OTT platform, right? Because when people are watching television now, they're on their phones while they're watching that. So then how do I create a synchronous across all that makes everybody work? And like that's kind of the beauty of it. Like this is a show that you can watch, with a 10-year-old to my 92-year-old great grandma, right? Like it's just good, clean fun, and every once in a while it's like this. She's got to get a good cry out of you, Every once in a while, it's a good, happy cry.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing about the new project you got going. We look forward to seeing it on Amazon and go from there. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us today at LeadsCon Live.